very shortly after landing on Neighbours, you gave an interview to a student newspaper in Australia and said, quote,
"Oh God, this is embarrassing."
"I've got big, big dreams for the future. I want to go to LA and be a massive actor over there," close quote.
It's quite to the point.
And after, you knew what you wanted to do, that's good. So after 3 seasons on Neighbours, or 3 years, I guess, you came here to try to make that happen. I think the big thing was initially an audition for Charlie's Angels, a reboot for TV. That did not work out, but it was not a pointless exercise, right?
No, ABC was also had Pan Am that they were putting together, and they said, well, we don't like you for this, but we'd like you to try out for Pan Am, and got the role on that.
Mad Men of the Skies is how that was promoted, yes. It didn't last very long, but that was not your fault, let's just emphasize. But this was, that also, just again, to connect the dots, I would guess it was maybe because of that you were on the radar of somebody like Ellen Lewis, the casting director for one Martin Scorsese? I
would like to think so, but in all honesty, I don't think Ellen Lewis had any idea who I was. But fortunately, my tape for Wolf of Wall Street did get to her. But there were, I mean, every single person I knew was auditioning for that role, because it was one of those rare instances where they didn't need a name for the part. They already had Marty directing, they already had Leo starring, so they could give a role away to an unknown, which was like music to our ears, everyone in my general demographic. So we all auditioned, and I hadn't, obviously wasn't auditioning to actually get the role. I was auditioning just to impress Ellen Lewis, who I knew was a big casting agent and could potentially lead to, you know, more auditions down the track. So that was the goal. Just make sure Ellen Lewis sees this tape. Just be just impressive enough that she sees it and remembers it.
And then you get a call.
Yes.
Saying, I think it was funny how you processed. How did you, follow-up?
I got the call, and my team were like, we have such good news. Ellen Lewis watched your tape, and I was like, oh, best day ever. Nothing could ever be better than this. And they were like, no, we're not even at the good news yet. She loved the tape, and I was like, oh my God. And they're like, no, we're not done. She loved it so much, she gave it straight to Marty to watch. And I was like, Marty. Does that mean, and they're like, yeah, and I'm like, that's Martin Scorsese, and they're like, yeah, everyone calls him Marty. I was like, and it doesn't matter, just like he watched the tape, and I was like, well, and they were like, he loved it, and they want to fly you in to audition with him and Leo, and yeah, so it was a great phone call in the end. It was very good news. And,
you know, that for a lot of people I think would be pretty intimidating, to go into a room with Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio at the age of 21, I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe not even 20?
Yeah. No, I think I was 20, maybe 21 or 22. Yeah.
Okay, so you go in, and, you know, knowing there's quite a lot on the line here, you ended up being, you know, pretty quick on your feet. Can you share what that audition entailed?
Yes, obviously I was on a soap for 3 years, so when I do lines, I do them exactly as the writer wrote them, and word perfect, and you had to, because it's multi-cameras and they're switching and all that kind of stuff. So I was completely thrown off when Leo started improvising in the audition, and I was like, I haven't improvised since, you know, drama class in high school. So I did a terrible first scene with him, because I was just like, oh gosh, what are we doing? So then I thought, okay, you've got probably a minute left in this room. Make it memorable, because this is never going to happen again, that you're in a room with Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio. So do something important with this 1 minute. So I just like went absolutely berserk and started screaming and trying to remember every swear word I knew, just throw it at them, and we kind of like went nuts in this scene, and it all culminated to a point until the last line of the scene, he kind of brought it back to the script and said, now get over here and kiss me, is the last line. And so when it got to that line, I thought, I mean, I could kiss him right now. It would be kind of an awesome story. And then I walked over still trying to decide, and then I was like, nah, she wouldn't kiss him right now. So I smacked him in the face instead. And it seemed like the thing she would do in that moment. The character, not me. It was a character decision, and it wasn't scripted, so I think they're all thrown off by that for a second. But in the end, you know, after moments of silence where I'd considered that I'd probably go to jail and for assault and never work again, what an idiot. But they started laughing and said that was brilliant, do it again. So
Off to the races, yeah.